No environment is too tough for the Mitsubishi L200, but to make sure you get the right information when you walk into a dealership, Mitsubishi arrange days like this, where they've invited down all their dealers to put the L200 through its paces.
What it's really about is giving all of our dealership staff the experience of L200 in conditions that most people wouldn't normally get to drive the vehicle, and really pushing it to its extremes.
So what is some of the things they're going to be doing today?
A number of things. They'll be experiencing driving the car off-road in some quite challenging conditions. They'll be using the vehicle on a wet grip section, which demonstrates the safety of the stability and traction control. A number of other elements such as towing with the vehicle.
Who are the people that are turning up here today?
We've got people from all of our dealerships across the UK, from salespeople through to service advisors, anyone that comes into contact with a customer that will benefit from having a better and greater knowledge of the vehicle.
And what do you aim for them to be taken away with them?
The main aim of the day is for them to take away a greater level of knowledge of the vehicle so that they can help customers make the right choice when they're buying a Mitsubishi L200. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to MIRA. L200 isn't just about barbarian and high-spec vehicles. There is a whole range of vehicles in this range to suit every single customer's needs, and that's something that we'll work on during today, about identifying those customers' needs. What we've got to do is we've got to understand what makes ours stand out as the best pickup truck in the UK.
At the moment, we're in two-wheel drive.
But it's the brilliant four-wheel drive that the L200 is renowned for. So I come here a few days ago to find out what the dealers are in for. Now, just to show you how good the L200 is off-road, we've had designed and built its very own 4x4 course. This is to show you how the L200 has the edge over the competition. Now with me is Jason Sharp, he's Mitsubishi's very own 4x4 expert. And Jason, what are we going to see here?
Right, Mike, we're going to walk around the course with the vehicle running. We're going to do a steep incline, we're going to do a side slope, and we're going to end up at the axle twisters to show off the traction control system.
Fantastic, let's get on with it. So the first thing we're going to see is this L200 trying to climb up this very steep hill. Oh, he's got wheel spin there.
Yeah, basically he's tried to get up there in two-wheel drive, which is hopeless on an incline this steep, so we'll go into four-wheel drive, low range, as you see, and it will drive straight away.
And this is typical what you get on a building site, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That was amazing, wasn't it? It just went up there like a piece of cake.
No
right, let's
problem.
move on to the next one. This is good, isn't it, here? Because you've got these two, what I would call giant sleeping policemen. It just cruises over anything, doesn't it?
That's it. He'll be using the anti-stall system on the engine, so he won't need to use the accelerator at all. It'll just keep ticking along, which makes it very smooth when you're off-road and very safe.
Now, what about stuff like these? These look like two bomb craters.
Yes, we've created those so that you can see the axle travel and the wheel travel on the suspension. So as it drives in and traverses onto the other side, you'll see that you've got a lot of axle travel there.
A huge amount of axle travel. Right, now, we're coming to this banks bit. See, if that was me, I'd want to go really fast now and try and whip round it. But clearly, when you're in a 4x4, the thing is to slow down.
This is basically showing you that the vehicle is very stable. There's a fairly low centre of gravity with the weight of the transmission and the axles. So you can negotiate awkward angles without the fear of the vehicle turning over. As you can hear, there's no engine revving going on. It's just ticking along and using the anti-stall system again.
And there's another couple of bomb holes here.
Yeah, these are like troughs. Really, we're just trying to replicate building sites and construction sites with uneven ground,
well, listen,
tractor ruts.
There's some roads where I live that are as bad as this, I will tell you.
So we've got
you know, potholes like this in the road. Look at that, wow.
Yeah, we've got a deep gully there to cross over, but you can see that it just goes across with no problem at all.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Awesome. Now this bit, Jason's called axle twisters. And this L200 is fitted with Mitsubishi's active stability and traction control.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's where it's going to be needed, doing this.
Absolutely. The traction control part is what we're looking at here. You'll see as the front wheel lifts up, it starts to slip. So if the wheel is slipping, the brakes are applied automatically to brake the wheel to stop it spinning.
That's fantastic, isn't it? So at any one time there's drive going to all four wheels, so you're never losing grip.
Exactly. Where you would normally in a conventional vehicle without the MASTC, you would lose your torque through the wheels that are in the air, which means the drive goes through the differentials to the other.
Do you know one thing I noticed with all of that? All the time it was travelling across this, which is really aggressive, the bed at the back was completely flat, so if there was a load in the back, there's no danger of it rolling out or falling out.
Exactly. Very stable. Again, it's the axle travel that is allowing the vehicle to stay level.
Very, very good. Thank you very much, Jason.
No problem.
Drive is transferred down the rear prop shaft to the rear differential to drive the rear wheels.
You've just had a go around the off-road course. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely terrific. It certainly gives us a far better understanding of how these vehicles perform.
It's nice to see the car actually doing what it's meant to.
I couldn't believe it could go where it could go.
Is there a lot of information there you can take back and give to the customers?
Absolutely. It's difficult to see when you actually see the systems working, as opposed to actually reading it in a book or being taught in a classroom environment. The guys are actually showing you.
Now, Jason, you've got me quite excited about something called transmission wind-up. I thought it was coming over here and telling the transmission, you're no good, but it's not that at all. What is it?
It's basically the front and rear axles are joined together to make a solid shaft, so it's causing the inside rear wheel to try and go as fast as the outside front wheel.
I see. That's why that wheel was speeding up all the time to try and catch up with it.
We've locked the transmission front to back, and that gives us better off-road capabilities. The downside of that is, on tarmac, is not good for the vehicle. It will wear the tyres out quick, and it could possibly do very expensive damage to the transmission.
I see. So what's different then with the L200?
Well, the L200 has a centre differential, and if we unlock the centre differential, we still have the benefits of four-wheel drive, but we don't have the disadvantages of transmission wind-up.
Right, so now he's freed the diff, and that means that there's none of that wheel spinning anymore, trying to catch up with the front wheel. It's perfect.
It's allowing the front and rear prop shafts to turn at different speeds. If you need to have extra traction, you can then just move it into lock.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that clever stuff?
Yeah.
In pickups, this ability is unique and gives the L200 the edge over its rivals. As you'd expect from Mitsubishi, the L200 has a very trick 4x4 system. Basically, it's got a centre diff that you can lock if you want to do some extreme off-roading or it's muddy underfoot. But you can also unlock this diff and get all the benefits of 4x4 but out on tarmac roads. Take, for instance, you come up to a junction and it's wet and slippy underfoot, and you're in two-wheel drive mode, which is when all the power is being sent to the rear. This is what happens. Now let's try it again. This time we're going to select four-wheel drive high, but no traction control. You can just see the tail slide out. Same junction, same speed, but this time we have Mitsubishi's active stability and traction control switched on. Just look at the difference. Confident and safe in any conditions. What did you learn from that experience that you can now impart to the customer?
Just how good and how safe and how capable the vehicle actually is under situations that hopefully you'll never find yourself under, but if you do, you know it's there to back you up.
We've got, a variety of customers, whether it's with their own tools that can cost a lot of money or whether it's with their family who are priceless. Really, you've got to think about who's in it, what they use it for, work-wise, carting your family around. Safety is just crucial, really.
Take one roundabout and sprinkle with water. And what have you got? Absolutely treacherous conditions. Now, if you was in your vehicle and was faced with this in the real world and put a steering input in, you would develop what they call understeer. That's where you turn and the vehicle carries straight on. Or if you give it too much acceleration, you will get oversteer, which is where the vehicle snaps round and the back of it wants to overtake you. How does the L200 handle this? Well, let's find out. First up, understeer. As you can see, even though the driver has a full right lock on the steering, the vehicle wants to travel in a straight line. Now oversteer, where traction has been lost on the rear wheels and the vehicle swings out. And lastly, same speed, same surface, but this time Mitsubishi's active stability and traction control is on. And it looks completely in control with no traction loss on any of the wheels.
It's all good having a laugh, having it sideways and things, but real world, the customers don't want to be going sideways. They want to know that they're safe. These are cars that people are putting their families in. I can go back hand on heart and say, listen, the system's there, will keep you safe, they'll keep you on the straight and narrow. It's brilliant.
Good vehicle actually, and this really shows the systems work.
And is that stuff that you can now take back and relay onto your customers?
I think so, yeah. If you have confidence and you know the vehicle's going to do it, then you can have confidence when you're talking to your customers.
Wow, look at that, that's some extreme driving. That L200 is right on the edge. If that was me and you, we'd be relying on some heavy braking. We all know that cars come with ABS and that's designed to stop the wheels from locking up under heavy braking. But actually what it does do is it helps you steer around an obstacle in the road, such as a car pulling out of a junction or a loose dog. What I'm going to do is demonstrate that by getting 2 runs in the L200, once with the ABS off and then again with it on. Now this L200 has been specially modified to have the ABS switched off. In front of it lies a track. At the end of the track is a load of cones. The cones are there to simulate an obstacle in the road. The vehicle will be attacking those cones at 60 miles an hour. Let's see what happens. Well, I don't know about you, but I found that terrifying. Just look how far he's travelled with the ABS switched off. Right, let's have another run with the ABS switched on. It's the same speed, same track, and the same obstacle. Let's see how it gets on. Wow, look at that, that's much more like it. No expertise needed by the driver either, and it stopped in what? Quarter of the distance in complete control. And that's thanks to the system. It regulates the braking effort and applies the brakes to each wheel individually to stop them locking up. Now at the moment, these are just cones, but that could have quite easily have been a person.
Gives you a fantastic understanding of the capabilities of the car, what it can and can't do when you've got other systems enabled and indeed disabled. Superb.
One of the Mitsubishi L200's many strengths is its towing capability. Can actually tow up to 2.7 tonnes. Now, any of you tried to line up your vehicle with the trailer behind you in the past know how difficult it can be. Usually, it means you've got to jump in and out the vehicle to line it up if you're on your own, or you can call in the help of somebody else. But Mitsubishi have overcome that problem with a rear view camera. And they told me it's so simple that even I can do it. So I'm going to show you. Right, let's fire her up. Now, on the screen in front of me, which is very big, very nice, I should have, when I select reverse, there we go, a nice big wide angle picture. Very clear, very good definition, and it's tilted towards the tow ball at the back. So all I need to do now is steer the tow ball towards the trailer, which looks like it's going to be easy. You want to look over your shoulder, but you don't need to actually. All I need to do is turn the steering wheel, and there's the tow ball, there's the trailer. Look at that, that's fantastic. Don't tell me I'm going to get it in one. And I line it up, and I've put the ball right underneath the trailer on my first attempt. How about that? Very good, I'm pleased with that. Right, now it's just a case of winding this down onto the board, and there it goes. Then turn the wheel up, putting the safety pin in place, making sure you connect your electrics, and your handbrake safety catch. And it goes to prove that even somebody like me can do this, handbrake off, all by himself, with no help needed. Now some people, once they've hooked all this up, they can get fearful that once they get on the road, the thing that they're trailing behind them is going to become unstable. But Mitsubishi have overcome that problem as well. Wait till you see this. And this is the awesome thing. When I'm driving along and I press my navigation screen, I get split screen, which shows me that rear view camera and shows that the trailer is still behind me. And if it becomes unstable, I can slow down, and of course I can keep checking to see if it's still there. Great stuff. Unlike some other pickups, the L200 can also tow on the road in four-wheel drive. What an awesome bit of kit that is. Job done.
Slow down now, Aaron. Just nice and gentle now. Do you want to put the handbrake on and come and see how close you are? It's not bad for a first attempt, is it? Spot on. I got it bang on. I just unwound the wheel, on it went. Good stuff.
So easy to use?
Yes, very.
And it's a good aid to have in the vehicle?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that goes to prove that no environment is too tough for a Mitsubishi L200. These dealers, service managers, parts managers and salespeople are all heading back to their dealerships now, full of information to pass on to you, the customer. It's been a fantastic day and everyone's really enjoyed themselves.